and supernatural worlds that surround us. Here we delve into those topics that challenge us to think outside the limitations of realism, where we test the boundaries of imagination and are forced to think outside the confines and restrictions of what is normal. We are the creators, the writers, the artists, and the insane. Welcome to our weird realities.
Happy Thursday, Weirdlings. This is Hadley, and I am here with Rich and Scott while we wait for Mr. Alan Gamboa. We are sorry we missed y'all last Thursday, but we're back and we are ready for a super discussion tonight on the 40th anniversary of one of our, I think it's kind of like our hive mind favorite would be The Thing.
It's the movie I've seen the most of any movie.
Yeah. I saw it the first time. Oh, and there's Alan. Yay, Alan. Hey, Alan, we're live.
Hey, he's not naked.
I tried.
Tina said no.
How did you screw up naked? That's hard to make it. That's hard to mistake.
I'm not the brightest one in the bunch.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Laura.
We were just talking about
Hey, Alan.
Hey, Scott.
Hi, I'm back again. Hi, Laura. Hi, K-Jack. Tony.
Hey, K-Jack.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Whitney.
Tony.
Hey, Laura.
Damn, whole world is here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody's wanting to hear about
Rich,
the dinosaurs.
I agree with you, Rich. I love The Thing. It's my favorite movie. It's probably the most watched, and it rocks. And I was fortunate. I got to see it in the movie theater.
Oh, that's nice. Not me. I was too young. I wasn't old enough yet. Came out in 1982.
Well, I remember the year that it came out, and I think when it came out on VHS, that's how old I am. I had a birthday party, a spend the night party, and we rented The Thing and Nightmare on Elm Street. And those are two. The Thing is like one of my all-time favorites, but and Nightmare on Elm Street, I'll never forget some of the greatest catchphrases ever in a horror movie.
Let's get back to the slumber party. Was there a pillow fight?
I'm not even going to go there.
Okay, then I won't ask the question.
We were prepubescent. I don't think we even had boobs. So.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, it was not the kind of slumber party you're thinking about.
Okay.
That is wrong, Rich. Bad Rich.
All right. I need to look up slumber parties. I will be right back.
Hey, Chassis.
And we have
Landa. Our beautiful Landa is here.
Hi, Landa. I didn't see Landa pop by.
She did. There she is, right there.
Oh, there she is. Oh. Chassis has a new avatar.
That is her beautiful daughter.
Like it. Oh, it is.
Who just graduated from high school.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. She looks like
very
her
is.
mama.
She really is. She's very pretty.
All right, so do we want to start off with the dinosaurs?
Yeah, let's do that first. Get it out of the way and just jump into The Thing.
Okay. Well, my confession was I did not watch the movies. I've had stuff going on. I did watch the movie I recommended, and I have seen Peter Jackson's King Kong. And Alan apologized so profusely for his. I just skipped it all together, and I did not get to see Disney's Dinosaur. So I'm sorry, my bad, guys.
Have you seen Disney's Dinosaur before?
No, I haven't.
Well, that's something we shall have to remedy.
Okay. Is that the one that was like, it got all the awards because it was...
It did get a bunch of awards, yeah.
I did read about it.
It's great. It's a great flick.
Why don't
we... I'm sorry. Go ahead, Alan.
Oh, I was going to say, I couldn't find anything that... we were already doing King Kong, and I was thinking Skull Island, but I didn't want King Kong us too much.
Where'd Scott go?
I don't know. Secret.
Yep, we offended him. He's pissed off.
Maybe he's getting naked. He's taking it literal. So I couldn't find anything. I mean, it's hard to find a good dinosaur movie that's not Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
You know?
It is.
There's very few.
Hey, Sylvester.
That's probably the one. Yeah. That's probably the one right there.
Was that the one that was like a TV show?
I don't know what he's talking about, yeah.
Well, and that one had a really sad ending. Too,
I think you're right, Laura.
Have you seen the ending of Dinosaurs, the series? I think it ends with that big asteroid coming to wipe them all out.
That's awful.
Yeah, right? Right?
Damn.
Sitcom, and then it ends like that.
Hey,
Well, what
let's just
happened to
kill
Scott?
everybody. I don't know. I think he keeps trying to jump in. I keep seeing something skip over, and I don't know.
Well, in addition to dinosaurs, this is the 40th anniversary of, like we were saying, our favorite movie, The Thing. I think that's a hive mind thing here at Wyrd. I think everybody loves The Thing. So.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's a rule.
Yeah, it's one of those movies you pass down to the your younger generation of family.
And it holds up. We were talking about the new version, which is like the prequel.
Yeah.
I hated it, but I feel like The Thing, the Carpenter version of The Thing, I feel like it does hold up.
So,
yeah.
I'm getting beeped. Hold on.
Oh, he's trying to get back on. His internet's sucking tonight.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we'll talk dinosaurs until he gets back. How about that?
All right. Let's do dinosaur because he'll want to jump in on The Thing definitely. Let's start with your movie, Rich.
All right. So my movie was Disney's Dinosaur. We were gonna pick off dinosaur movies last week, and I'm like, I just like you said, Alan. There's only 4 or 5 movies that I can think of that aren't Jurassic Park. Don't get me wrong, I love all the Jurassic Park movies. They're great movies. But then I thought back, and I'm like, you know what? Disney's Dinosaur was out when my kids were really little, and it was the first movie that got my son into dinosaurs, and he's been a dinosaur freak ever since. It's one of my favorite Disney movies. I absolutely love it. It was made in 2000, and it stars D.B. Sweeney and Alfred Woodard and Juliana Margulies. It was an expensive film to make, and it used one of the really cool things about it was it used both live action backdrops and computer animation. It had a budget of $127.5 million, which was in 2000, and that was enormous. Excuse me. And being a Disney film, it has to start off with tragedy. So Aladar, who's an iguanodon in an egg, through a series of mishaps, lands on an island. It's populated by these cool, like lemur critters, and they take him in as one of their own, and he grows into a full-size dinosaur. The lemurs and Aladar, they live in a happy life until, shocker, a giant meteor crashes down and destroys the island, pretty much everything else, kills all the poor little lemurs on the island, except a few of them. And one of the best scenes in the movie is Aladar running away from this catastrophe that's coming, and all the trees are just blowing down, and there's fire everywhere. And I put it in surround sound just the other day, and I was like, oh, damn, it still holds up. Right? The group jumps off a cliff into the ocean, and they swim to this distant shore where they meet up with a huge herd of dinosaurs on their way to this nesting grounds, which is a supposed safe haven from the destruction of the meteor. And Aladar, who's played by Sweeney, meets up with Crone. He's the leader of the herd, and his sister Neera, who's he's the love interest, and she's played by Juliana Margulies. Crone's a bit of a douche, and he rules the herd with an iron fist and another powerful iguanodon named Bruton. And the rest of the film is pretty much getting to know the cast as they trek towards the safety, being chased by large predators, Carnotaurus. And there's one scene where if you pay close attention, it's a pretty brutal and gruesome attack where one of the herd gets eaten by this Carnotaur. You have to really pay attention, but it's kind of nasty. I kept pausing and going, ooh, this little kid's going to see that in the background? But it was brutal. Aladar and Crone, they don't get along, but Neera has the hots for the new dino in the herd. Crone won't listen to Aladar as the younger iguanodon. He wants to wait for the slower dinos as they trek towards the nesting grounds, and Aladar and the slower dinos get separated from the herd, fight some Carnotaurs, and end up in a cave. On the other side of the cave is the nesting grounds, and it's untouched by the meteor. It's green and beautiful. So Aladar runs around out of the cave, and then he catches up to the herd, and he tells Crone that he's found a way into the nesting grounds. But Crone, being the douche, won't listen. And a Carnotaur shows up. Aladar tells all the dinos to stand together, and they just kind of yell and bray at the predator and until they can move past it, except for Crone, who did the stupidest thing you could do in a Disney movie and didn't listen. Crone gets dead, and Aladar brings the herd through the cave into paradise. The end. Honestly, this is one of the most visually stunning Disney movies with computer-generated dinosaurs in real settings. It's exactly like Jurassic Park, except the dinosaurs are like animated. I guess the film took ages to make. It was dreamed up in 1987 and went through several iterations and multiple storyline changes, including using puppets and trained lemurs. Tell me that wouldn't have sucked. It was put on hold as Jurassic Park was all digital and it was being filmed concurrently. There was even trouble with the musical score. Half a dozen new computer programs were used in the movie, and it was almost 1 million feet of actual background film, which is pretty impressive when you think about it. 1 million feet. When you're watching the movie, 90% of its actual landscape is with computer animated dinosaurs on a real landscape. The thing, Rotten Tomatoes only gives the film a 64%, and that pisses me off. What do you guys think? Well, what do you think, Alan? Because Hadley didn't see it.
I enjoyed it. I didn't catch all the intricacies that you pointed out. It was very well animated. Definitely, it's a beautiful movie, and it had its up. It was fun, scary. Everything that a lot of those Disney movies are. It was good. It's a movie I would never watch. I would never go out of my way to watch it. I probably wouldn't even throw 7-Up on it if it was burning in the street until I watched it, and I thought it was great. It's a good flick. Definitely open my eyes to the problems that these dinosaurs had back then. I didn't know there were so many issues these guys had. Alador, man. I don't know.
Yeah, originally the movie wasn't going to have talking dinosaurs. It was going to be a Disney movie, but not necessarily a kids movie. And then they went to, let's do puppets. And then they went to the lemurs were going to be the main character. And then they got into, how they shot it. I think the way they did it was great. It was a great story.
Oh yeah. I would like to see a bunch of sock puppets with like fins glued to them.
Right. Like
and,
Alf.
Googly eyeballs. And that would have been cool too. But no, Rich, this was a fun movie. And I'm going to let my grandson, I'm going to introduce him to it, see if he can, enjoy it. But yeah,
it's on my Plex account.
Okay.
It's on the Plex account if you want to watch it with the grandkid.
Awesome. But yeah, good choice. Hadley, you need to watch this one.
Yeah. I want to check it out. Like I said, It's just I have let my Disney account lapse and I didn't feel like getting it for the dinosaur show. So
no. Landis says her kid had to watch that one every day for about 6 months. Had to, or was he strapped to a chair with his eyes like this?
I'm with Landis Gal on that. That's great.
Sylvester doesn't think Scott likes dinosaurs.
He does. He looks like the kind of guy that would like dinosaurs. He probably would have a dinosaur pet.
He's having technical difficulties.
Yeah, he's getting internet issues. Everybody's having some internet issues today.
Well, we have here in Nevada, we have thunder, lightning, and rain. So, and it's pretty windy. Not right now, but
is that normal for y'all?
Yeah, we'll get them. We get them, in the summertime. But it's been a abnormally ugly summer.
Well, summer here is usually bad, but it usually doesn't get into the 3 digits until like August, and it's already that hot today. So
2 weeks ago, I'm in Massachusetts. 2 weeks ago, it was 98 degrees. 2 days ago, it was 48 degrees. So you never know what you're going to get around here.
That is true.
Yeah.
You probably get what you guys deserve.
Yeah, right. Which is
we get what we deserve, right?
Hey, there he is.
I'm telling you, we're talking dinosaurs tonight. We're talking my friggin' internet service provider.
You should get rid of Jurassic.net and move forward.
I'm telling you, it'd be easier for me to do like cave carvings than to use this internet.
Right?
No, thanks, Laura.
That's hot.
It's just too hot.
104. Oh, yeah, we get that hot, but not all the time. We stay in the high 90s usually, or just at 100.
Nicest vacation I ever went on was to San Francisco in August, and it was so comfortable. You'd have to wear a sweater at night, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is like the neatest place ever." Got back home, it was like just got off the plane and just melted.
Yeah, I visited a friend in San Francisco, but he lived in San Jose, and it would be like 86, 90, 95 when we left San Jose. And then by the time we got to San Francisco, we were wearing jackets.
Landis says it's 103 there, and you can drink the air. I hate that humidity. I hate that humidity.
Oh God,
It's like that here. You just walk out and it hits you.
That's
Yeah, but
why.
you-
That's why I hated Florida. It was always humid. I mean, it
You-
could be 50 degrees out, and the humidity would still fog your glasses.
You don't get any humidity where you are, do you, Alan?
Oh
No.
Be dry
no,
as hell, right? Yeah.
It's kind of today because it was cloudy and with the storms and stuff. It's a little bit, but no, it's a dry heat.
It's a dry heat. I was in Vegas and it was like 105 degrees and it wasn't bad. 105 degrees
No.
here, you're dead. But out in
Yeah.
Vegas,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like, it's no big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I like
know how you
about
guys do it.
Arizona and New Mexico. No matter how hot it got, it was still bearable.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they've got thunder. They've got those. I was at the Carlsbad Caverns,
Mm.
and we couldn't get in because they had a flash flood.
Oh.
So,
That's crazy.
and we
Yeah.
drove from the air base. It was like a 2 or 3 hour drive. So that sucked. But
Worst
no crazy.
worst heat I ever experienced was in southern Iraq. It literally hit 120 in the shade.
Oh man, that's a furnace.
That's-
Try it out.
I didn't mind that, but when you had to use
Okay,
the
we're actually
outhouse,
talking about the weather.
Yeah.
when you
Okay,
had to use the outhouse,
Hey, we got more. We got more viewers now. This is watching Weird, the
I know,
Weather
like-
Channel.
Goddamn Weather Channel.
Yeah, well, that's why we're getting all of our old folks are joining us. Oh, they're talking the weather.
Alan, do your movie. Do your terrible,
Okay.
horrible, awful movie. The
The
Toad?
Taj, we're doing
I
good.
like
Thank you for joining us.
thanks for hopping on.
Okay, my movie, like I told you previously, I just could not. I was like, I wanted to do Skull Island, but Scott, you're doing Kong, and I didn't want to over Kong us because no one likes
Overcome.
Kong balls in their face
Yeah.
more than once, right? I was trying to think of something to say. Anyway, so
Dude,
I'm
that's
just like,
Godzilla.
and I wanted to do Roger Corman's Carnosaur because that's kind of it's cheesy, but it's kind of a fun movie. But I couldn't find it anywhere streaming. So anyway, I found, and I'm sorry, I am so sorry, the Dinosaur Experiment, aka Raptor Ranch. I think they were trying to make more money by hiding this horrible movie's title.
Holly said that must be Alan's pick. The Velocipastor would have been better than that.
That's true.
Velocipaster's actually rated pretty high.
It is.
Actually
People
got
are-
3.5, 4 stars.
The preview looks horrible, but it looks
was
fun.
awful. It was not
Yeah,
good.
It was awful. Okay. Raptor Ranch, or the Dinosaur Experiment. Somewhere in Fossil Ridge, Texas, Dr. Crane's reckless experimentation with bird DNA gives birth to a diverse army of unstoppable, horribly done CGI dinosaurs. I mean, it's something I could have done. I thought that's what Al was going to. You're right,
You would've
Sylvester.
done
That was
better.
me. As a result, against the backdrop of an endless series of mysterious death, young waitress Abby Whitecloud, and she's actually a native, and actually they didn't have Chuck Connors playing her, and a handful of stranded visitors will have to come face to face with the agile primeval predators of the dusty town. However, the rampaging man-eaters are very hungry. Is there an escape from Raptor Ranch? I got about 15 minutes into this movie, folks, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
You son
it's
of a
like,
bitch. I
I
watched
could
that
not-
whole movie. You son of a bitch.
Well, I apologized on our
No.
feed.
Evil.
But I could not get through it. I got to the point where the Titty Man was on there.
Yeah.
Call me the Titty Man, and
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this to myself. I
Well,
can do it to other people.
This was a titty
I
movie
couldn't
with
do
no
it.
titties. That it was
Oh.
supposed to be a 50-year-old. It was supposed to be one of these Cinemax movies for 50-year-old kids, but there were no boobs. It was completely boobless.
The only boobs in this were the people watching it.
Exactly, me. I was the boob.
Oh, we
I
lost
lost
Scott.
Scott. No boobs.
Scott
I'm
is
out.
so disgusted with no boobs that he's out.
I'm out.
Well, I saw the
we're-
warning and I thought, well, if Alan's saying it's bad, he couldn't watch it.
I should have said
It's
it.
no hobo with a shotgun, so I'm out.
I should have known, but when I saw Lorenzo Lamas was the headliner on it.
He's in it for 5 seconds.
Oh yeah,
The guy, he's
He
not
was their
even in the
main-
movie. It was
They cut his scenes.
I don't
Yeah.
know if they cut
Well-
it or they just needed him. They paid him $20 extra so that they could say that he was in the movie. He's in it for I don't know, maybe a total of 15 minutes, maybe. I
That
don't
was
even-
it. He's in a lot of movies like that,
Yeah.
because people go, "Oh, I remember 30 years ago he was in a good movie."
Yeah.
You know, maybe.
Wasn't that
I
one.
remember his dad. His dad was in a
It
good
wasn't
movie.
Raptor Ranch.
No. So this is horrible. I just gave up. It's like me going up a hill. I get halfway up and I just give up. I sit down, open my bag of chips, drink my soda, and wait for someone to come help me up the hill. And if they don't, then I just roll back down. That's how this movie felt. It was horrible. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. And I'm sorry I unleashed it on anybody. I really am. So
Did you watch it, Scott? Scott is frozen.
he's
Let's pick
giving
on
us that
Scott.
dead eye stare.
I know. CIA got him.
He's wearing us down. Yes, I know where Jimmy Hoffa's buried. Just
I
quit
know.
staring at me. So yeah, I had a horrible movie, and well, I'm sure you have seen Worst Land. I mean, it wasn't the worst movie, but it was horrible. What's
I
Scott
don't
doing?
know.
Did
It
you
was-
did he do a magic trick? His house is there. His room is
How
there.
did he do that? Oh, he's going to get the assless chaps. We were talking about that earlier.
He's committed. So what would you give this movie, Rich?
I'm not going to rate this movie. It was so terrible that it's not getting a star. You can kick that right out of here. No, fuck it. Not. Oh, I said a bad word. We're not
Oh,
rating this movie because it was so. This is okay. So the only movie I stopped watching since I've been doing watching Wyrd was Hobo with a Shotgun, and
right.
it was because of the flamethrower on the school bus. Nope, I'm out. But this movie was worse than that. It was just
It was.
so. It had no redeeming qualities.
No.
The main character she's a Native American girl, and she was very attractive. I can't remember her name, and she's just a terrible actress. She was just terrible. And then the kids that were they were trying to go skiing, I guess,
You mean
wound up in the desert. I mean, you
mean the
shitting
Titty
me?
Man? Yeah, I know. The
Tin
Titty
Man,
Man is.
Scott
Don't
is
ever
making a
follow her.
political statement.
I guess Scott didn't want to talk about this movie.
Well, he
That's
was
how bad it
he was on camera, but then he wasn't.
I know.
I think the people that made this movie, everybody involved, everybody. I mean, even the guy that boxed the CD up, I think they should be banned from making movies.
I agree.
It was
Was
just,
it that bad?
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, it's
you know
it's
what?
an insult to you.
Don't
You're
watch
watching it. Yes,
So a lot of bad movies, I'll say, yeah, you watch it and make your own decisions. Don't watch this one. It's just not worth it. It's terrible.
it is. It is. So, I would give it a negative. This guy's now a really comically slow strobe light. I think it's at MK Ultra.
It's Dick Cannon. He's happy.
Well, Hadley, I really wanted to talk with Scott about your movie because
Well-
that's his thing.
I know.
But we ran out of talking about the weather, so I
Well, we
guess
could talk about. Here comes
Oh.
our porn bot.
there we go.
It's from
Do you have a
YouTube.
porn bot? Oh,
Yeah, on
comments.
YouTube. Oh, thank you. So let's talk about your movie. Tell us about your movie, Hadley, and hopefully Scott will come back.
I picked a movie that was totally ridiculous. It's called Iron Sky: The Coming Race, and it's Iron Sky Part 2, which I haven't seen Part 1, but I'm going to have to watch it now because I was oddly surprised at, genuinely surprised at how this didn't suck. This is a movie about nuclear Holocaust survivors who have left Earth to go to an abandoned Nazi moon base on the far side of the moon in a barely functioning spacecraft. And then they travel to this is like the weird realities of movies. Then they travel to Hollow Earth, and then they attempt to recover the Holy Grail. And there's reptilian shapeshifters, of which I think Sarah Palin was one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Hitler and Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
And the list goes on. And the next thing you know, they've gone to the moon base to take it over from Hitler's twin brother, and Hitler arrives in his reptilian form on a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It was great. I will say that this movie surprised me because the acting did not suck. The plot line did not suck. And for what it was, it delivered. It was a good movie for what it was.
Excuse me. Sorry. It was.
I love Laura. She just has some kind of drugs on my own to make that. I didn't need any. It was actually... It was really well done. I don't know what else to say. I'll let Scott talk more about it because it is a Scott Baker movie.
Which one?
It is. Nazis on the moon.
Iron Sky.
Oh, Iron Sky too. It is. If you've seen Iron Sky 1, it's got a heavy sci-fi aspect to it. It's about 1945. The Nazis set up a swastika-based camp on the far side of the moon, and the whole story is them coming back to Earth. Iron Sky 2 is just bizarre. The base was partly destroyed in Iron Sky 1, and like everybody on Earth gets wiped out by a nuclear war, except a few people who you think are human in the first movie, but are actually lizard reptilian aliens that are living in Hollow Earth. And they go back down, and Hollow Earth is run by reptilian Hitler, who rides a T-Rex called Blondie. And they're having their own issues there. I mean, the whole reptilians is like Muammar Gaddafi, one of the popes, Osama bin Laden, the whole group. But they go back, one group goes back to the moon, and a group of Russians, and they have the only working ship. So they decide to go back to Earth to see if there's a way to save themselves, to find the means to save this moon colony. And of course, they bring with them this occult religion that is based on Jobs and Apple. They worship the Apple computer. And it's just...
It was Tom Green.
That's
Yeah,
right.
it
It
was
was
Tom
Tom Green.
Tom Green.
Were they
And
making fun of Scientologists?
What's that?
Were they making fun of Scientology?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Or was it? See, I just thought they were making fun of the tech industry. Everything is
Both.
so light.
They tied the two together.
Yeah, and they go back. Oh, and one of the key reptilians is Sarah Palin. And it just gets so bizarre after that, because when they go back to Earth, they have to fight the Middle Earth reptilians, which it starts to get to be like an Avenger movie about 3/4 of the way through. The action gets so good, and you gotta watch it. It's just, yeah, if you're politically correct, it could be offensive, but they do make fun of everybody across the board. And did everybody watch it through the credits?
I didn't.
No.
I did not.
You know what?
Oh.
I tried to watch it, but I stopped.
Right. Watch it again. Right. There's a really funny scene, because I'm not giving you anything. Earth gets destroyed.
Oh, wait. No, I did see it. I know what you mean. They go to Mars, and what's on the base. Okay, I did see it.
Yeah, there's a scene at the end. They have to abandon the moon. They have to abandon Earth, so they fly to Mars because they figure they can start life in Mars. What could possibly go wrong? Watch it through the end of the credits, and you'll see.
Okay. Okay.
I actually enjoy this movie too. I thought it was I had seen it, I don't know, a couple of years ago, and I was like, yeah, it was like one of those 3 a.m. movies for me.
Mhm.
And I thought, yeah, it was one of those stupid things that I probably won't enjoy, and I didn't. I was like, it was all right. And then I watched it again
No.
3 or 4 days. No. 3 or 4 days ago, and I was like, you know what, this isn't bad. It's okay. I kind of enjoyed it. It's so dumb that it's funny. And
Yeah.
there's just a lot of crap going on that you have to kind of pay attention to. But I mean, reptilian Hitler,
Yeah.
the way they did it was just great.
Riding a
yeah, exactly.
T-Rex
T-Rex.
named Blondie. That's what I love.
Well, it was. I mean, like I said, this is definitely not Academy Award winning, but for what it was, it hit it on all marks. I think that they delivered a really good movie. It had decent actors.
Yeah.
No, I didn't recognize anybody except Tom Green, who is just odd as it is.
Udo Kier.
Yes.
Oh, Udo Kier, yeah.
Yeah.
King of the B movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's Hitler.
it just well, wasn't that the guy, the Hitler guy was the same guy from Indiana Jones, the Temple of Doom?
Yeah.
No, the Holy Grail.
Mm,
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
No.
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 He's never
Not
really
the guy
been in
whose
a
face
big
smelled
movie
wrong?
like that.
No, Udo Kier is very famous for boxing actors and making
Joe
semi-bad
Hinson's
movies.
in the house. Whoop,
Don't
Hey,
answer.
Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hadley, Blade, Dragonetti, the guy that gets his teeth pulled. That's Udo Kier. If
Yeah.
it's ringing any bells,
He's in a lot of B movies.
it's my superhero power.
Yes, I know who you're
But-
talking about. It's a Tim.
But you know what
I
I loved
recognized
about
him.
what
He
I
looks like
loved about
Nazi outfit. Seen him in that before.
I'm sorry. Say again.
I must have seen him in a Nazi outfit before because he
He-
wears
yeah,
that
he's
Oh
been
red-
in-
yeah. Yeah.
He does that kind of role.
Yeah.
what I loved about this movie, it's all crowd funded.
Oh, wow.
really.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
That gives
Yes.
independent film people everywhere hope, doesn't it?
Yeah, and what they do is like, if you give, because I gave to the first Eye in Sky movie, I gave like $25. I think my name's in the credits somewhere. But like if for this one, they said two people, for like the first two people that give $10,000 and are willing to fly to England, you can be eaten by a T-Rex.
Oh, wow.
That's how they raise the money. If you give certain amount of money, you can be an extra in it. So
Yeah.
and they're very popular movies because they're just stupidly fun.
Well,
Now,
the sets were good, the costumes
Yeah.
were good, the acting weren't. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was like I said, it checked off for what this movie was supposed to be. It delivered.
Exactly. Basically, it was amazingly well done for a shitty movie.
Yep.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looked cool, just the cover and everything of it looked cool. The only thing they were missing was sharks with lasers. But so I put it on, and Tina's like, "What are we watching?" I said, "Nazis on the Moon, Iron Sky 2." And I saw the look on her face, and you know what? She enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was it's crazy, it's bizarre. The camaraderie, the Russian guy, you like his character.
Yeah.
The big guy, you like his character.
My favorite character.
Yeah, and the main character, she's good. But that I think that between the Russian and the big guy, though, they keep it moving more.
Yeah.
And Tom Green's weird cameo appearance in that,
Yeah.
He's come a long way from Charlie's Angels. But that was it's a fun movie. It really is. The acting was what it needed to be for that movie. So I really enjoyed it. It was a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't made. They purposely made it that way. It's not like the movies like Bilbo with a Shotgun, which think they're going to be really good movies, and they kind of fall short.
Well, this one, there was nothing. It followed a formula to a certain point, but it did it well for this movie. Let's see, Laura says, "I'm going to be honest. It sounds like the movie equivalent of my sister and I summoning Michael Jackson's ghost with a tea candle on some of the hee theatrics. Hee for YouTube."
Yeah.
It's probably made with the same budget that would have. Tom Green, yeah, Joe. He's he plays a cult leader.
Joe's a fanboy. He likes Tom
Yeah.
Green.
Yeah, I heard Freddie Got Fingered was his favorite movie.
That's Joe's favorite movie.
Yep. So, Scott, what would you give this movie?
I would give it a 3.9, maybe a 4.
Okay. Rich?
I'll give it a 3.5. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'd give it a 3.5. It was fun. Hadley, this is your baby, so what?
I'm gonna give it a 4. It deserves it. this is Weird Realities, guys. They hit everything that me and the guys from Where in the Fault get together and talk about. You know, they're, like I said, you've got the hollow earth theory, you've got the conspiracy that Hitler's still alive, you've got the reptilians in charge of the government, you've got it all. It was great. And like I said, it wasn't a crappy movie. It was worth, I mean, like you said, Alan, Tina enjoyed it. It is not something that you're going to cross the street to watch, but if it's on and you got the time, you're not going to be dissatisfied, because you should have no expectations.
It is absolutely worth seeing.
I told Tina, and this isn't a good way, Scott. I said, that's like something Scott would write on MK Ultra.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a compliment. It's not a...
No, I know. Just because I missed it. I love Dinosaur. Much better movie than I expected. I love the whole theme of it. You know, the young dinosaurs saving the older members of the pack. Who picked Raptor Ranch?
Alan?
I did.
Shame on you.
Yeah, we did that too.
Yeah, I heard some of that.
So tell me what you thought about Raptor Ranch, Scott.
Oh my God, I don't even remember it. It was so bad.
It was done.
I was saying to Hadley before we went on air, I watched for the fun of it because I thought it was going to be different.
Right.
Cowgirls versus Pterodactyls, which was about Wild West prostitutes fighting pterodactyls.
Now
and
that's a movie I need to see.
Yeah, and it's on Tubi. And it was far superior to Raptor Ranch.
Sorry.
That's
sorry
okay.
I didn't pick hookers versus Jurassic pimps. Sorry.
Velocipaster would have been so much better. Especially that awesome fight scene at the end. The white ninjas fighting the guy in the T-Rex suit.
See, and when you watch Raptor Ranch, it just makes you mad because it's such
a
crappy movie.
If you ever watch the movie Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, during the first 10 minutes, there's a fight scene in the park. Ignore the fight scene. The best part is watching the reaction of everyone else around them in the park, watching these guys act out in the park.
Where do they get these ideas for these movies? I mean,
who knows?
You know what? These guys are
like us.
You know what it is? Somebody said Sharknado was a success. What can we write that's similar?
Hey, how many sequels did that thing have? 8, 7, 8?
Like
5.
It was as many sequels as it had too many.
No, I love Sharknado. The inside, the end of it when they do the time traveling, Hitler gets eaten by a shark. Muhammad Ali boxes a shark.
All right, I hate to admit this, but I've never seen one. I've never seen a Sharknado. I know Tara Reid's in a lot of them.
Yeah,
right?
But they're still worth watching.
I tried to watch the first one. And I love shark movies. That's I'm afraid of deep water, so I always try to watch the shark stuff. But no,
the thing is, the first Sharknado movie is not the best. Because the first Sharknado movie tried to be a little serious. From there on in, they put their tongue firmly in their cheek. Yeah. And what broke me up was all the big name actors that begged to be on the show.
Yeah.
To be eaten.
Like who?
All right, maybe big name is a little bit better.
Like David Hasselhoff.
Well, it was like Will Wheaton was in one episode as like
Bob Barker, people like that, you know.
Yeah, there was like one of the I think the premier female boxer was in one of them, and
Ronda
people
Rousey.
just wanted to be in the show, and it got so stupid.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first two, and then because they were fun. I mean, we had a fun time watching them, but after that, I just kind of tuned out.
Well, we interviewed that Glenn Miller that he was associated with it. He did with Zombies, which we should contact him again. I enjoyed that interview.
Yeah, that was a good interview. He was really, really nice, really friendly to us. Yeah, that was a good interview.
He explained a lot about how the movie industry works with getting stuff funded and all. It was really pretty interesting. But he was like the assistant director 2
Right.
or something on Sharknado, wasn't he?
I think he worked his way up from parking crew members' cars all the way up to a director, filing
Yeah.
his own Zombies and that series. I mean, he's done everything in the business.
Yeah.
So that was a fun interview. Yeah, we should get him on again. Would you people out there be interested in something like that? Let us know.
Okay,
Yeah.
Tony, I am going to search that out and watch that one.
Oh, Scott, I saw the preview on Amazon.
Clownado.
Yeah, it looks like we filmed it. It looks horrible. I'm surprised Tony didn't like it. Tony likes some movies.
Well, I
He likes everything.
I remember when Z Nation one time did the Zombie NATO.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know
And-
which was funnier, the Zombie NATO or the Zombie Wheel of Cheese.
Wheel of cheese. Wheel of cheese for the win.
Now, hey, doesn't Sharknado, one of those, have a cameo with what's her name, the lead from Z Nation?
Might. It might.
It's like they're at the army base or something, and there's a
Yeah.
Sharknado, and they make fun of it, and you're like, aha, because Z
Oh,
Nation-
there's a lot of inside humor on
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I think there was
Okay.
something like that.
Are we doing an hour and a half or just an hour tonight?
I can do an hour and a half.
We can do it.
I could probably go over.
Okay.
Okay. Well, since we're going to talk about the thing, I was going to say we're going to run out of time. We have to talk about it. So
All right,
I won't rush y'all now that we've got a little extra time.
Well,
Okay.
let's do King Kong.
Mine was Peter Jackson's King Kong. There were so many dinosaur movies I wanted to pick. Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. It came from beneath the sea. I chose King Kong because it was the only remake or sequel to King Kong that I liked. I hated that abomination from the 1970s.
Oh,
Yeah, you know.
I love
which
that one.
Was
Oh,
Jessica
my-
Lange?
Charles
God,
Grodin
no.
getting stomped
Jeff
on.
Bridges.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
That was great. I love
Jessica
that
Lange.
theme.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Skull Island. I'm not a big fan of the new King Kong.
Oh,
I will admit, as crap ass as he was, I did like the Toho King Kong. But that was because I almost sort of like didn't think of him as King Kong. But I love this movie. It was such a tribute to the original Kong. When I was rewatching it, I caught so many little things. Like on the ship, in Thomas Kretschmann's cabin, some of the original props that the Islanders used were on the walls.
Oh,
You
cool.
know, there were just so many things. And the things I liked about the movie was he kept it to the original script pretty much. He made some changes.
right.
Ann Darrow was an actress already. He didn't just find her off the street and turn her into an actress. I love the fact that they made Denham an asshole. You know, Jack Black plays him for a comedian. He plays him.
He nailed it.
perfect. He is such a narcissist. So many people die because of him, and he doesn't care. The only real emotion he shows is at the end when Kong breaks out, and he's like, you can see the look in his face. Oh my God, my butt's going to be sewed off. And I just liked it because they put it on steroids. Like this, you know, the scene when the Brontosaurus chases him in the 1933 version. Now they've got a Brontosaurus stampede mixed in with raptors. But it was a great movie. And I love the fact they added the spider pit scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the bug scene it's pretty gruesome. It's one of my favorite scenes. So I didn't look it up. What was that? Andy Serkis?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was Andy Serkis.
That was Andy
right?
Serkis.
So that scene, honestly, it makes me sad because I like the Andy Serkis character in that, but that bug scene was just creepy. It was really well done. Basically, a bunch of guys. It's the King song. It's in all the King Kong movies where the ape twists the log that they're crossing over this chasm. They all fall into the chasm, and this time there's bugs in the chasm, and they're big bugs, and it was really done well.
It was
creepy.
The Skull Island scene the scenes on Skull Island there were just brutal.
Yes.
I mean,
Big
the
spider?
crew was just subjected to some horrible, nightmarish stuff. You know. Oh yeah, I think that's
Well, that's one of the things
Linda.
I like. They weren't natives. They were just this primitive society that just were evil.
right.
And the spider pit scene apparently was based on sketch drawings made for the original movie. And that's the one thing. They originally filmed the spider pit scene, put it in the original Kong, and it was taken out because they thought it would detract from them being thrown off the log to him going to save Kong going to save Andaro. And they said, well, this is not going to be any, and then all copies got destroyed, and there's none left. I think there's one or two still photographs. So Peter Jackson researched that, and he tried to recreate it the way it was originally done. But oh yeah, God, that is creepy as hell. Especially those worm-like spiders that just like grab onto you and slowly consume you.
Yeah, that whole Skull Island part was just, to me, was the best part of the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I really love that part. I like King Kong, the old black and white one. You know, as a kid, I saw it, and it was just awesome. You know, it's, wow. You know, but this one, I don't know. It dragged along for me. It was beautifully shot. Special effects were just flawless. But I think it was a little too long.
It took 48 minutes for them to get on the boat.
Wow.
Really?
It was 48 minutes. It was to the point where I hadn't seen it in a few years, and it was to the point where I had to wonder if the version I watched they added stuff to it. Maybe it was an extended version, because the version I watched was like 3 hours and 4 minutes or something like that. Also, and this is just me, as soon as they captured Kong, I turned it off because I hate seeing him get killed. It gets me right here. I don't want to see the monkey die. I know he's an ape, but
I do agree. Once they bring him back to New York, they drag it out.
Yeah,
they could have cut a lot of that scene. It almost became a love story between her and Kong.
Yeah.
Oh, and I mean, there's so much trivia. Did you know that the pilots, one of them was Peter Jackson?
No,
I didn't know he could fly.
One of them, one of them was Peter Jackson, and one of them was actually Andy Serkis.
Oh wow!
Yes, who played Kong. So technically, he's the only person to not only play Kong but to kill Kong.
Yeah, he, like I said, it's beautifully shot. You could tell he loved that movie.
Yeah,
the way he recreated
makes beautiful films.
He does. He does
definitely.
Even Evil Dead.
I haven't seen that. Oh,
not Evil Dead. Dead Alive.
Taste.
Dead Alive. Yeah, you threw me for a minute. Raimi. That was Raimi. Yeah.
Have you seen Bad Taste? The one he made.
I tried to watch it and couldn't.
It's.
Now you said, Alan, you liked the 1970s King Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch the sequel to it?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yes, I watched that one night, and it was like, oh my God.
It was a mockery of all King Kong things.
Oh my God.
Bad Taste is awesome.
I gotta tell you, Tony, last time I watched it was in 1987 or 88, something like that. And we thought it was pretty fun, but I haven't seen it since. But, you know, I was younger, and I think we might have been drinking something.
Yeah, well,
it was fun. But yeah, Jeff, I love the Jeff Bridges version. You know, but I was a teenager then, and it was cool. You know, they modernized it, and I really like that. And like Rich was talking about, my favorite scene right there was when Charles Grodin gets squashed by Kong. That was so cool. He's just like imprint in the ground. Yeah. And his character was pretty much an asshole too, like Jack Black's.
Yeah.
You know, he was just in it for the money.
I don't know. I think one of the reasons I hated it was because they hyped it up. You know, this is not going to be stop motion. It's going to be a real animatronic Kong. And it was like the one scene when he's standing there.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
Yeah.
It's a guy in a monkey suit.
Yeah, that was Rick Baker.
It's a better made version of Schlock.
Yeah. That's a horrible movie. I'll watch it.
But it's so funny.
Yeah. But that was Rick Baker in that Kong suit. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, he did a good job of it, but you know, the way they hyped it up, I thought, oh, we're gonna see, you know, I mean, what, I was 15 at the time. It's like, ooh, we're going to see some really great special effects. It's like, really? Every
We'll agree to
1950s horror
disagree.
movie with a gorilla in it was a guy in a suit.
Aren't they all?
Yeah. At least he
So
didn't have. At least he didn't have that, like, fishbowl on his head and pretended he was an alien.
Yeah. Look like he's wearing a shaggy carpet or something. So, well, okay, Hadley, I know you've seen this movie before, so what would you give it?
I'm a King Kong fan, so I'm going to give it at least a 4.
Okay. Rich?
I mean, it's across the board. I like giant animals.
This was not my favorite King Kong. I'm going to give this a 3.5, a 3.5, because of the bug scene. The bug scene brought it up, but other than that, this movie dragged for me. It's really well filmed. There's a lot of great backdrops, and like I said, the scene with the bugs is straight up creepy, and it gives me the willies. So I'll give it a 3.5.
I'll give it the same. I'll give the Skull Island part was the best part to me, and the rest I could have done without. But it was beautifully shot. You, Scott?
I give it a 5. It's one of my favorite movies. And Tony, yes, I do love Mighty Joe Young.
Same.
But I don't consider that a Kong movie. So,
is that the one where he rescues the orphans
at the very end? Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they did a remake with Charlize Theron and not
Bill
Bill
Paxton.
Pullman, Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
And he rescues a kid on a Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
It's pretty well done.
We could have done monkey movies, and we could have also done that one with The Rock and the big white.
Oh, I know.
Rampage.
Yeah.
Rampage.
Yeah. That was okay. I didn't even think about that one. I should have said that one. It would have been better than
Well, we
Raptor
have
Ranch.
dinosaurs. We're supposed to do dinosaurs.
Well, we can do monkey movies. We got all the Planet of the Apes films. Schlock.
We could go ape.
Conga.
Okay, so now on to the classic. That's what we've all been waiting for. We've already lost we're dropping people. But yeah, let's go with the Thing 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
Who wants to start?
I'll start just to.
I went to see it today.
I went to the movies last night. My son took me, and I showed it to him when he was like 9 years old. So he wanted to take me and see it in the movie theater, and it was very cool seeing it right there in the big screen. I mean, it was, it was grainy, which was cool. It looked kind of grainy. Hey, Sylvester.
So are we, Sylvester.
But the thing that stood out to me was the audio on it was just wonderful. I mean, Ennio Morricone's score was just boom, boom, that vibration. And when the dog's running across the ice or the snow at the beginning, and you can hear him going, ksh, 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 ksh. I mean, it was awesome. Everyone should see it again on the big screen, or see it if you haven't seen it on the big screen, because I know a lot of people didn't see it when it first came out because they were too young, probably. But it was an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
So I couldn't believe it was 40 years.
The soundtrack. This is back when soundtracks really made a movie.
Right.
And I can't think. Maybe Lord of the Rings might be the other big score that I remember from. Oh, obviously Star Wars. But you just don't have that kind of sound in horror movies anymore.
Well, there's a lot of sparse moments in that movie too, where there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's no background noise. There's no music score, anything. And it works well, So there's a lot of.
It's a perfect. To me, it's a perfect movie.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
It's got everything you want. It's got gore. It's got body horror. It has terror. Bleak landscape. They're trapped and they can't get away. And it's got that gooey friggin' alien.
Yeah.
It was it was perfect. Jaws is my favorite movie. This is my second favorite movie.
Oh, see, the Thing is always I saw it in the theater, and it was like, I'm sitting there like, oh, okay, this isn't the thing from another world. I don't know if this is going to be good. And then they put the husky in with the other dogs.
E.T.
And then, the breathing. And then the other dogs. And then when the face broke into 4 pieces. And, the tentacles come out and the legs start coming. Half the theater was getting sick. The 2 girls I was with at the time were covering their eyes, and I'm like eating popcorn. Like, oh, this is awesome. But you know what I love most about the movie? I mean, everything you guys said is true. There was no love interest. It was just a bunch of guys. It was mistrust. It was everything. It was all special effects.
Yeah.
None of that stuff was CGI. Everything on it was planned that way. They actually had a chest close on Doc Hopper's arms. They used an actor with no arms, and then put the prosthetics on him. So when he's standing, and they put a Hopper face on him. Everything on that was a special effect, and that is what makes. That's why I love this movie so much. But I really am not the prequel. The Thing just doesn't do anything to me.
So the prequel, the one that came out, I can't remember her name. The dark-haired girl that
she was in Prometheus, another nightmare.
Yeah.
Naomi
so that
Rappaport, or
I can't remember her name. She so that movie, the prequel, the movie's bad. It's not a great movie, but it's got a ton of Easter eggs that relate to the original thing. The axe in the wall, the cutout of the alien itself.
Yes.
The body that they bring back. It was how that body was. That's the kind of stuff that was really cool. But the movie was eh.
But
Mary Elizabeth Winstead. That's who.
That's was. Yes. Thank you.
But once they leave the camp, the movie failed so badly to me. The alien spaceship sucked. The alien inside the spaceship sucked. And what the hell was it taking off and crashing again? I mean, and where was the other land tractor, snow tractor?
All good questions.
When they were there, they didn't see a burned out land tractor.
Well, he was rusty. The alien was, he'd been buried for what, 100,000 years? I forgot, what's this button do? I hit my head in the crash. I can't remember.
One of the things that I think we've gotten away from in our modern horror is people feel like you have to show everything.
Right.
When there's so much that can be left to the imagination. And that's what Carpenter did with a lot of that, was stuff that, we got the impression of the spaceship under the ice, but we really didn't see the spaceship.
Yes.
Didn't have to.
Yeah. The thing that was noticeable when I went and saw it was I can't remember the guy's name, but he did like the black hole effects for the black hole. He did a lot of effects for Disney. Albert Whitlock. Yeah. It was like it was painted on glass. And so when you see the alien spaceship in the snow, and then you see them against it, looking at it, you could tell. It even looked more obvious nowadays than it did before, that it's, a backdrop and not of course they didn't have CGI. So that's the one thing. There's 2 complaints I had with watching it, was that, and then when Windows gets chomped on by Palmer, it's obviously a dummy flipping around, in his maw. But
you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly. That's what my son said.
It was 1982.
You got to do what you got to do. I said, yeah, you're right.
Well, you can say, what is it? It was made in 82, so it's been 40 years. Sorry, you can add. But the whole thing, to me, that dog scene, that horrifies me every time I see it.
Yeah.
You can feel the dog's terror. Yeah. I mean, and that's not something you see a lot. And we talk about this too, because don't mess with the dog.
Well, how'd they get that one? How'd they get that one to eat the fence? Remember, it's taking the
peanut butter on it, but but that was something that terrified me. It's like, oh my God, that dog is so terrified he's eating the fence.
Yeah. And the suspense. I mean, my favorite suspense scene is when they take the blood samples and he's heating the metal. And he's talking to the captain. I can't remember his name. And he says, you're
Gary.
the only one. Yeah, you're the only one that has the key. That's why we're going to do you last. And then he sticks it into Palmer's blood and the blood jumps.
Yeah.
So scary.
And then you just see Palmer starting to turn right by the other three that are strapped to the. Oh God, that scene just
Get me out of here!
Yeah.
You could feel it. You could feel it.
Now, here's a question for all of you. This is a question every time I talk to somebody on Facebook. Do you know that you are infected with the thing?
No.
Like when not Hopper, when oh God, the other doctor, the one that goes nuts, when he's touching the thing with the pencil and then starts touching his mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, did he know when he
Wilfred Brimley?
Wilfred Brimley.
Wilfred,
Did he know he was infected?
I don't think so.
Did
Not
Norris know he was infected? Was he faking that heart attack? Was he really having a heart attack because he was turning into the thing?
No, because I don't think he was faking, because if you look a little earlier, you see he's by the window when he's looking for McCready out in the snow, and he's like, So I think it was starting to do whatever it did. It was starting to absorb or digest him at that point. And later on, it just his bodily functions stop before the thing can fully take him over. And that's when Copper decides he needs to give him the CPR, and things happen. So no, I don't think, at least sometimes, they didn't know that it was happening to them. They were infected. So it was hard to trust people.
And now let me ask you a question. Was at the end of the movie, was Childs and or McCready infected?
Now, so many things on
Childs was infected.
He was. There was no cold air coming out when he talked.
Yeah.
There was an original scene. I saw this. I saw it on television. I understand why they cut it, but I wish they didn't. In the movie we all watched, the two of them are sitting there. There's nothing we can do about it. And then they start the boom, boom, boom. And they start doing the pan outs of the camp, all destroyed. In the original movie, they cut to a day scene of the camp at a distance and a husky running across the ice. And the husky stops, turns and looks back at the camp, and then continues running just like the dog in the original opening. But Carpenter cut it because he realized, day doesn't come so quickly in Antarctica.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But I wished he'd kept that scene. That scene was just awesome.
So Childs and McCready share a bottle of whiskey at the end.
Yeah.
So if one of them was infected, they're
the other one is,
yeah.
That's what we're... I'm going to make a suggestion.
Yes.
We could do a watch party of this movie on Amazon Prime.
Oh, yes.
We should totally do that.
Okay.
I would watch this movie every day for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at it, and it does have that option, because I've been thinking we need to do that, but we should totally do that, because I would love to watch this with y'all and hear your comments along the way.
Yeah.
I'm in. Yeah.
Sure.
We'll have to get Sylvester to join us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I mean, it is the perfect movie. Everything about it is so excellent. The acting, the dialogue is so realistic. The setting.
Yeah, the bleakness of the cinematography when you know there's just nowhere to go. You can't leave.
No.
And you've got this rampaging, shape-shifting alien that wants to eat you, and where are you going to go? You got nowhere to go, and it's just terrifying.
And when
when the helicopter's flying, every time it's up, it's just nothing around it.
Yeah. And with the Wilfred Brimley character, when he goes nuts because he realizes, I mean, that just strikes me. He's committing suicide. He's killing them all to keep this thing from getting back to the mainland.
Yeah. So it's a bleak story, and it's told well. And I did not know when I went and saw this, my 18-year-old self, that it was not a hit. Because
No.
my buddies and I always thought it was great. We thought, oh man, this is the greatest movie ever. Did not know that it
It
was
is
a
such
flop.
a great movie. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't know
no.
it was a flop either.
No, it was critically bashed. What happened was when VHS came out, everybody, all of us 18, 19-year-olds. I mean, I was lucky I saw it in the theater, but everybody's all watching. It's like, oh my God, this is a great movie. And it got a cult following.
Yeah, it did. It made, I think it made like 1.5 million or something like that. And it was made for 15, something like that.
Yeah.
Can't remember the numbers exact, but it was just really, it kind of hurt his career for a while.
I was a
I think
pro at sneaking into movies when I was underage.
Yeah.
It was
And
you.
It was me. I
was
was excellent at it. I was great. I saw so many rated R movies before I was old enough. And on this one, I got caught. And they caught, and I so wanted to see it. And so I was like, we're going to try it again next week. And I got caught by the same guy. And he's like, he started screaming at me, get out of here, you little. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah,
I didn't get to see it at the movie theater.
See,
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons it failed was like my girlfriend I was dating at the time.
Best dad in the world checking in.
All right. Did you like the movie The Thing?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
It was so good in theaters.
Isn't it? I mean,
Heard and saw things I never saw before. It
oh
was
yeah.
amazing. Had a great night.
Get him a
Good.
chair.
First scary movie he ever showed me. I was like 8. And I loved it ever since then.
Now they're
Did
going
you
to
sleep with the
call
lights
child
on that
services
night?
on me.
Have a great night, guys.
All right, take it
Yeah.
easy.
Take care.
I mean, I think one of the things that killed it was my girlfriend at the time thought it was a remake of the 1951 The Thing from Another World, which we both loved. And, she's sitting there thinking, oh, this is going to be about a man alien walking around. And, when the dog split apart and started sucking all the other dogs in.
That's not a
like,
bloodthirsty carrot.
But it very was much like the book, Who Goes There?
Well, I saw where I actually just read where Carpenter said that E.T. killed The Thing at the box office.
Yeah, it did. I didn't know it made that much money. I know it was a flop for him.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's probably, they probably didn't add the advertising budget in that too, because I was surprised that it was not a hit. There we go again. That's crazy. I'm glad it made that much. It maybe hopefully made a little bit back then. I know he has.
Thinking back though, I think that was one of the grossest movies ever made up to 1982.
I'll put a link in our private chat for y'all.
Okay. I mean, that's where I think, that's where I think the problem was. I think it was just too much for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Now it's PG-13.
Oh yeah. Yeah, now it's just goo. This stuff kids play with.
Nowadays, Charles Manson wouldn't make the news either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he only killed 7 people.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, that's true.
Allegedly.
He didn't. He didn't actually kill anyone.
No, he just suggested. No, but I mean, things have changed. But to me, this is still a horrifying movie.
It is.
It is.
As y'all know, it's probably one of my top 5.
Yeah. And I don't know if any of you know this, the trivia with Niles. When the last 3 of them, when Niles, the commander, and McCready are in there, and Niles goes off and you never see his death.
Yeah.
Reason is they had originally filmed, and I think it's on the DVD special edition. They had originally filmed Niles' death, but it was stop motion animation.
Oh wow.
He goes around the corner and the thing is sitting up on like some beams, and it reaches down, grabs him, and sucks him in. And when they watched it, they said, no, that sucks. It'll destroy the movie. So
that's probably good then.
Yeah, they had to take the whole scene out.
Well, I still need to see it now. I haven't seen that. I don't care if it sucks. I want to see that.
You might be able to find it. I'm sure
Yeah,
you can find it somewhere.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
I want to watch the commentary
Googling now.
I want to watch the commentary version and see exactly what Carpenter and them were thinking.
I saw where they made Carpenter make a happy ending. Is that list of the y'all?
Is that the different movie?
Well, it was McCready in a he had been rescued and doing a blood test, and he passed it, and that was how it was
Oh.
going to end. But they
Oh,
and
No,
I'm
that
so
would have
glad.
that would have sucked.
that would have. I mean, I dig Kurt Russell, but it was good the way it ended.
Yeah.
It was perfect. It was perfect. It is a perfect cinema masterpiece.
And
It
I'm
is.
glad they didn't ruin it with a sequel.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Though somebody had posted on the page, would you watch the movie The Thing versus Aliens?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole new. That's a whole
That's
different.
but are we nerds? I mean,
It's asshole. Woo, woo.
Assholes in the house.
Hey,
Oh, and
buddy.
by the way, hi, Ma.
I'm
An
on-
hour and 12 minutes into it.
Hey, Ma.
No,
Tony
I did
says
like,
they spent 1.5 million on the special effects.
Oh,
And
I'm sure.
he probably lowballed. Was it Rob Bottin and Rick? Did Rick Baker do these?
I don't think Rick Baker was involved in this. I know Rob Bottin was.
Rob Bottin. Yeah. So he
Yeah.
that was probably lowballing Rob Bottin too, because they always lowball those special effects.
Are you
Yeah,
name
but-
dropping your other show? Lowballing with Joe Hansen.
Lowballing.
I mean, I know Joe Hansen's in the house, but
Yes, Joe Hansen and I have a show called Lowballing.
We don't want to know your medical condition.
Yeah.
Ashley, Hadley, I did like the prequel to it up until when they leave the thing, because I thought they wanted to make the prequel to show what happened, everything at the base when Norris and McCready show up. I thought it was fun. No way was it as good as
No.
as the thing, and it was all CGI, which
y'all know that I'm a huge fan of like horror makeup and FX. I mean, I love special effects. So to me, and CGI is great, but it takes something away from it when you don't have the live actors involved or the people who are the creature creators.
Right.
Just it adds something to a movie to me. So
Well,
I miss a lot of that.
Rob Bottin was a prosthetics guy. He's a prosthetics makeup guy, and he did the effects for this, which is why they were so fantastic.
He was like
Fantastic.
22 at the time. Was he the
Something like that. Yeah, he was real young.
Those guys were like rock stars in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, yeah.
They were, Greg Nicotero, guys like that. They were just, the guy that did American Werewolf in
Savini.
London, Rick Baker,
Yeah.
Tom Savini.
Baker, yeah.
Yeah, those guys are all masters,
just a little piece of trivia. It does stand the test. I watched it. I watch it like every couple of months, and it's just like nothing about it. It could take place today, and it would still fit in. My favorite scene in the movie is when the Norris spider head walks out into the hall, and Palmer looks at it and goes,
You gotta be.
fucking kidding.
Yeah.
I use that in almost every one of my books at some point.
That's good to know. Seeing it on the big screen the other night, it did hold up. There wasn't.
Yeah,
I thought I might fall asleep watching it because I've seen it so many times. No, I was. It had me. So yeah, you're right, Scott. It just it's timeless right now. It's timeless.
I could watch that movie every day. It's just so great.
I love that we all love this movie.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we high
There
five.
are other members of my family who are sleeping upstairs who can't stand the movie, but
Yeah, I've got one in my house like that. But Rick was talking about the Easter eggs and stuff in the prequel, and to me, that's the coolest part about that movie.
Agreed.
Is all that in the end, how the end bookends right up,
right?
to the thing,
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't watch it again. I don't feel the need to. Whereas
So
I'll watch
the
the thing that
Norwegian
was
guy
completed.
that's shooting at the dog,
Yeah.
when he shoots, what's the guy's name? He shoots in the leg. I can't
Norris.
remember.
No,
It's not Norris. It's
not Norris.
I know it's the guy with the beard and mustache.
Yeah.
One of the first.
He's saying that's not a dog. That's what
Yeah.
he's saying in Norwegian. So
Ah.
it's pretty cool if you speak Norwegian.
Yeah.
Like
like-
Rich Restucci, you're just
Yeah.
that cool.
Vi var i Norge 14 år siden. Yeah.
Well, you look
I
like a
lived in
dang
Norway for a little
Viking
while.
right there.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
So, I love the part McCready was calling them. Well, I always call them Swedes,
Yeah.
and
Yo,
they're
Sweden.
Norwegian, man. Norwegian, Matt.
Yeah.
Copper, we keep telling him that.
This is probably my favorite Kurt Russell movie.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I mean, he was cool. with it.
Yeah.
Rich
I
still
am.
don't
Be a
have
hat
to.
in the-
Alan gives him some every day. And that did not sound like I meant it to.
The only thing about the movie that always bothered me was when McCready says we're going to go back to my cabin. Why? Because when I left, I shut the lights out. They never explain any of that.
Did they
Yeah.
need to though?
I don't know, but I mean that's when Niles comes back with the Birds McCready underwear.
Well, maybe he just had a fetish. Maybe Knowles was really taking everybody's underwear, and they just didn't go into his backstory.
That's
He was
true
a
because he's
pervert.
the one that found it first, the first pair in the trash bin. Yeah.
Well, I always took it. I mean, the reason I like that is because if that really happened to us, we wouldn't know why the light was on.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I think
that's
he was
what,
just
that's
trying
what
to
I
hide
liked
Knowles.
about it. Is it just kind of added to that?
I think Knowles was just trying to hide his underwear fetish. That was,
Yeah.
it had nothing to do
No one
with
ever
the thing
picked up on that
changing.
until right now. It's a whole
And see,
new
that was
movie
one of
right
the
now.
things about the prequel I didn't like. They repeated so many scenes.
Yeah.
They almost did the whole thing with the flamethrower verbatim.
I didn't like the prequel because, and as the token girl on the show, I feel like I can say this. I felt like it was just trying to insert a woman into that environment, and I don't think that would have been accurate at that time period.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how do I
But
get
they're just trying to, it's trying to equal the playing field, and I don't understand, but it just took away from the whole idea. Part of what made the thing was it was a bunch of men.
Yes.
I mean, it didn't have. It was I don't know. It was a solid story.
She's done 2 prequel movies for classic movies, and both of those movies have screwed up the franchise.
What was the other one?
Prometheus,
Yeah.
where I was like so excited about that, and then it was like, as it's going on, it's like, okay, so the ship that's stranded takes off and strands itself again.
Those movies have some cool stuff, but yeah, I did not like either of them.
No.
Covenant or Prometheus.
Well, why do you think you didn't like them?
I don't know. The character development, a Covenant wasted Danny McBride, totally wasted his character. I don't think they really got into a lot of character in either of those movies. And those were what's his name? The guy that did Aliens, right? That directed him. Those were his movies too, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just don't feel those movies.
I couldn't watch Covenant after. And did you watch Prometheus halfway through the credits?
I don't.
There's
been
a
a while.
scene in it where you find out what because remember how the Prometheus alien didn't look like the alien we know
Right.
from the movies? You find out one of the humans is infested, ingests the egg, and when the alien breaks out of him, it's the alien we all know and love.
Ah.
I
don't know. I'm hoping this series FX is doing is good.
I hope
too.
so.
I hope so. Boys and girls,
It's
I
got-
have to escape. I've got something going on upstairs I got to go figure out.
Okay, Rich.
All right, Rich.
It was a pleasure.
Night,
Yes,
Rich.
it
It
was.
was fun. I love The Thing, one of my favorite movies.
Yep.
I'm
Take
going to
care,
be probably
everybody.
mailing you my story tomorrow.
Yeah.
Please do. All right. I'll take care.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Rich. Take care.
Yeah, I think we all give this movie a 5.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think it's
yeah.
a solid.
It's classic.
So the question
go
is,
ahead.
what do our friends out in Chatland think of it? What would they give it?
Oh, I know Ashhole will give it a 5. It's one of his favorite movies too.
Wow. Yeah, let us know. Let us know what you think of this movie. We'd love to hear about it.
Now, there is a prequel book being written to Who Goes There. And I read the first part of it. The whole book isn't out yet. Good lad. And it looks pretty good.
Ooh, Ash is going 5.5.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm
He's
going
got a one up, Landa. Laura's
Laura,
never seen
you
any
got
of them.
to see it. The Thing is the best. It
Yeah,
is
it is.
1982
Yeah.
version only.
With Kurt Russell.
Yes.
Can't
You like
beat it.
movies about paranoia? This is definitely the
yes.
paranoia movie. Go ahead, Scott. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying there's a book that's coming out that's a prequel to Who Goes There. And they published the first chapter as a sort of a teaser, and then they never finished the book. And I'd be like, every couple of months I go on Amazon and check it to see if it's available. I'll have to post the title of it on my on the Weird Realities page.
Cool. Yeah. Laura, watch
it. Laura, watch it late at night with the lights off, with as few people around as possible.
That's people you can trust.
Hugging your dog.
Maybe.
Maybe. Nobody trusts anybody anymore. Yeah. Now, let's go to the original Thing from Another World. I love that movie.
Yes.
That's just one of those. It was made with that era sensibilities.
Yeah.
Though they had love interest and all that stuff. Well,
then don't watch it alone in the dark.
Yeah, I don't. Yes, watch it with lights on and with people.
I loved The Thing, the original 1951 version. The acting was so realistic. The dialogue intermingled with itself. Robert Cornthwaite as the that narrow-minded scientist who only saw this thing as something to be, something to be studied, and it was great. And one of the great things about it was I think one of the best things was you rarely got to see the monster.
You're right, and he was a giant carrot.
He was.
I mean,
no, I know. He
literally.
wasn't a conquered the world giant carrot.
Yeah, not literally.
He was a space vegetable.
But he was basically kind of a space vegetable, but that thrived on blood. And you're right, the dialogue, them talking over each other and stuff, is just great. It's just a fun movie.
And the tense scene in that when Carrington is talking about alien life forms and that. And all of a sudden you hear the clicking in the background and they all stop and look at the table and the severed hand is moving and it ingested the dog's blood.
Yeah. No, it was a fun movie. I love that movie. I watch it probably at least once a year.
Oh yeah.
Just for kicks,
We need to do that. We need to make a list of what movies we watch all the time. At least once a year.
The Thing, Resident Evil, The Thing, John Carpenter's.
Fifth Element.
All right, guys. So let's go ahead and start talking about next week. Next week is going into the 4th of July weekend. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Am I right about that?
You're right about that.
We had talked about doing war movies. Do we still want to do war movies? Do we want to do independence movies? What do we want to do?
There's not many American independence movies, really.
Yeah. We could do The Patriot, all of us.
Oh. God, I made it through that once. I don't think I can do that one again.
I actually have a story about The Patriot.
Oh.
The tomahawks in it?
Yeah.
Yes.
My dad's business partner bought those at an auction.
Really?
Money? Yeah. So he's got those hanging up in his house.
Neat. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think what we should do is the musical 1776?
No.
No, wait a minute. I'm not saying we watch it. We sing the songs from it.
No.
Okay. I'm with you, Scott.
I
went on a high school
pass
field
on
trip.
that.
Went on a high school field trip and saw that movie. Or no, junior high school. And it was horrible.
I did watch the 800 last weekend after I told y'all about it. It was pretty good.
yeah.
Was it?
I have to see. I still have to watch that one.
It's worth seeing. I mean, it was
Okay.
Do you know who has some great World War II movies? Recently made Russian movies.
really.
Ah.
They did one, I think it's called The 38. It's supposedly the story of 38 Red Army soldiers who stopped the Nazi invasion as it was reaching the coast of Moscow. Not the coast of Moscow, the outskirts of Moscow. And they say there's a lot of controversy about whether these 38 ever existed. A lot of people think that they didn't exist, that Stalin made this story up to rile up the Soviets, to kill the Russians. But it's a great war movie. Oh my God, it's so action packed.
Well, I think you would enjoy this, Scott. I don't know about Alan, but the 800, it was good. It's kind of a similar, obviously there were more people, but it takes place in Shanghai when the Japanese.
Oh, I hate Shanghai movies. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, no, I just mean it has a lot of historical stuff to it, but I don't know how often.
I hate history.
Yeah, just before the rape of Nanjing.
Those are my two enemies, Shanghai and history. You nailed it. Well, how are you
I'll
going
have
to
to watch that one. Is it in English or subtitled?
I can't. I think it was subtitled. I can't remember. It's been a week.
I don't mind subtitle movies, but I've got to take the time to sit down and watch them, and that's how.
Yeah, you got to be in the mood.
It was a very good. If you are interested in pre-World War II Chinese history with the Japanese, it was very interesting.
Oh,
and that's how I look at it. That's a time period I'm interested in when Japan was doing their pre-World War II push into Asia.
Yeah.
And I was not familiar with it. It was very interesting.
So are you I don't want to say fan of, but have you studied the rape of Nanking?
Yes, I think I've actually read a
Irish Chang's
documentary.
book?
It was a biography or autobiography, I guess. This lady had gone and she had done a lot of one-on-one interviews with people who had survived.
Mm-hmm.
And she ended up committing suicide because she couldn't handle it.
Oh, was that Irish Chang or somebody else?
Yeah, she was a Chinese American. I'm sure that's probably who it was.
Yeah.
But and the documentary that she did was, it's brutal. The photos and stuff that she came up with were incredibly horrible.
What fascinated me
on a good note.
What fascinated me was they said that only 25% of the citizens of Nanking survived. And ironically, 25% of the citizens of Nanking were held up in embassies where they were sanctuary. I'm because of what I did for a living, I studied modern Chinese history. And, when I did biochemicals, naturally, I studied Unit 731. That is just, everybody talks about what the Nazis did. What Unit 730, hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
What Unit 731 did was even worse by comparison. We actually, a friend of mine went to visit there once, the old sites for Unit 731.
We'll have to talk. I'd like to hear more about this.
You should do a weird reality show on that, actually.
We should. We need to do more history stuff on weird realities.
But
I'll see if I can.
Oh, you there, Scott?
We visited the prison where Emperor Puyi was re-educated.
Wow.
Very, very cool.
And there was a contemporary prison beside it. And all the Chinese prisoners were whistling at us because we were the only two white guys they'd ever seen. I felt honored.
Well, so, y'all, what do you want to do? Independence movies or?
Well, Landis says Jaws is an Independence Day movie. Asheville said he wants us to do Independence Day, definitely. or the sequel. He wanted us to do the sequel. I'm sorry.
God, no.
Terminal List starts on the 1st, and I would be interested in doing that if anybody was going to watch it besides me.
What's Terminal
Is it a
List?
series or is it just a movie?
It's a series. It's being released on Amazon. It's I I can't think of the guy who wrote the books, but he's a ex-Army Ranger or Navy SEAL. And
Yeah,
he
Jack Carr. Is that Jack
yeah,
Carr?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's got Chris Pratt in it, and it looks really good.
Oh, that one, yes.
Yeah. And
But,
then the Gray Man comes out too. That's a pretty good book series, and that's got it's not Chris Pratt, but somebody like Chris Pratt in it. I can't.
Well, we've got lots of stuff coming up. I know that we're partnering with most girly movies I can find, shopping movies. Clueless. I'm sorry, I'm reading Laura's comment here. But no, we've got some pretty good horror series coming up that we're going to partner with the guys over at Horror Writers Inc. to do a panel for that.
I think we got the Resident Evil series coming out. What We Do in the Shadows comes back. The last 2 episodes of Stranger Things comes out. Resident Alien.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, there's like they're doing an Interview with the Vampire series. They're doing Benicio, not Benicio. Who is that guy that did Hellboy? He's got
Benicio del Toro?
Yeah, he's got a series coming out that's like standalone horror.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, there's some really good horror. There's like there's a bunch of really good horror series coming on between now and the end of the year. I'd like to do something with Horror Writers Inc.
Sure.
For like probably 3.
Benicio, Guillermo.
Yeah, that's right. Max Crumb. Who's Max Crumb? Do we know him?
Yeah, he's very cool. He's very cool. He's a friend of mine, and I think he's following Scott now. I think.
Yeah.
All right, Max.
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling left out here. Not feeling.
Well, it's because of Alan's assless chaps. Everybody wants to tune in to see those.
Max is very cool.
I didn't have time to put on. Max is very cool. See, now you owe me, Max. I want that dollar. Tony said Uncle Sam is a great Independence Day movie.
Well, dude,
that's Tony. That's Tony. It's going to be blood, guts, and probably other stuff.
Do we want to do apocalypse movies, war movies? What do we want to do?
I would say we already did apocalypse movies a couple of weeks ago.
I can do apocalypse movies all the time, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm thinking war movies. Now, do we want to keep them American war movies or any war movie?
How about any movie?
Okay.
That way
World War II or any war?
Any war.
How about yeah? That way Hadley can do the 800.
I'll probably watch another one.
Okay. Yeah.
But I would recommend the 800 to anyone who's interested in that. It was very interesting, and it was very very, very courageous men lost their lives. It was very sad.
I'll think of which one. There's a movie out there I haven't seen yet, which is a true story about the Americans when they invaded Normandy found 2 Korean soldiers in German uniforms.
Oh, wow.
I saw previews for a movie about that.
Yeah. And the story, how they got there, is absolutely fascinating. These got to be like the 2 most unlucky guys in World War II.
Wow.
Because they were recruited by the Japanese, because Japan had taken over Korea in 1900. They were fought against a Japanese war with the Soviet Union and were captured by the Soviet Union and given a choice. Join up the Red Army or go to a labor camp. So they joined up with the Red Army. They were captured outside of Moscow by the Germans. The Germans gave them a choice: go to a labor camp or join us. They joined the German army and wound up in Normandy.
Normandy. Well, that is a good story. I mean, that's insane. Mike Lewis is saying cult classics. Max Crumb says War of Independence. It should be. And then Mike Lewis says The Car. Oh, I love that movie. I love The Car.
Great. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that is.
You guys need to do some bad Bigfoot movies. Well, have you talked to Logan? Have you met our friend Logan?
You know,
Logan's like, by the way, I don't know what Scott did and who he talked to, but Logan's like gotten a promotion at work, and we don't get to see him anymore.
Oh, there you go. Well, how about this? Do you want to do war movies then?
I think that since it's American independence, we should focus on America.
Okay.
American war movies.
America.
Yeah, America.
America.
Definitely.
Okay.
Okay. So American war movies.
All right.
That Sam Elliott Bigfoot movie was terrible. I kind of like that one. It was a slow burn. The man that killed Hitler and Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That one. I haven't seen that one yet. I gotta watch that.
Fantastic. Oh yeah, there's a ton of movies. Well, give us suggestions, and we're gonna, though it's a holiday, we'll do American war movies for just because it's the 4th of July, and then we can start picking up more suggestions from everybody. How's that?
Yeah.
How's that sound?
It works for me.
All right.
That's great.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this week. And I've got a new little outro thing, so I'm going to play it, and we will see y'all next week. Until then, stay weird.
Thank you for joining us.
Weird Realities features the work of science fiction, fantasy, and horror authors Alan Gamboa, Joseph Hansen, Hadley Thorne, Rich Restucci, and Scott Baker. Their books are available for sale on Audible and Amazon, and each is a featured author on the Horror Writers Inc. Facebook community. In partnership with Weird Realities, Horror Writers Inc. is led by best-selling zombie fiction authors Jamie Hernandez and Stephen Kinney. To stay up to date on the Weird Kids' newest releases and to find out more about the Horror Writers Inc. community, you can turn into the Weird Realities website at www.weirdrealities.net. And don't forget, that's weird with a Y.